The movie is set in 1879 in a small town called Rose Creek, where a powerful robber baron and gold mining tycoon named Bartholomew Bogue takes control by force, along with his army of hired guns. Bogue aims to take complete control of Rose Creek due to its rich gold mines. In addition to bribing Sheriff Harp and exploiting the townspeople for meager wages, Bogue and his men often act arbitrarily, causing the residents to suffer in continuous misery and poverty. Unable to endure the hardships under Bogue's rule, the residents gather in a church to discuss possible solutions. They must decide whether to give up their land to Bogue or stand up against him with all their strength. During the vote, Emma and her husband Matthew choose to retain ownership of their land in Rose Creek, asserting that they will not yield to Bogue under any circumstances. However, Bogue interrupts the meeting by entering the church with his armed men, announcing his plan to buy a parcel of land in Rose Creek for $20 and compelling the residents to sell their properties to him at this extremely low price, far below the market value. He gives the residents 2 weeks to leave the town, threatening to kill women and children if they resist his demands and remain in Rose Creek after the deadline. After learning that the townspeople were furious with Bogue and publicly condemned him for his actions, Bogue, enraged at the residents' defiance, burned down the church and carried out a violent attack, resulting in the death of several individuals, including Matthew, as a warning to the rest of the community. Soon after, a renowned U.S. Marshal named Sam Chisholm arrived in the nearby town of Amador on a mission to apprehend a criminal known as Powder Dan, who had been involved in a string of criminal activities. Sam went into a local bar and inquired about the wanted criminal, only to discover that the bartender was actually Powder Dan himself. Despite Powder Dan's attempts to deceive him, Sam quickly saw through the charade and engaged in a showdown with the criminal, ultimately emerging victorious by defeating and killing him. Amidst the chaos, the other patrons of the bar fled to safety, but a man named Joshua Faraday remained composed, watching the confrontation unfold without showing any fear or apprehension. Following the confrontation, Sam exited the bar, briefed the sheriff on the incident, and identified himself as a U.S. Marshal before swiftly departing from the town on horseback. Meanwhile, Emma and her closest companion, Teddy, were also present in the town of Amador, seeking assistance to drive out Bogue and his gang from Rose Creek. Aware of Sam's reputation as a skilled U.S. Marshal, Emma and Teddy recounted the atrocities committed by Bogue and his crew, pleading for Sam's aid. Emma then handed over a sum of money gathered from donations by the residents, in the hope that Sam could support the community of Rose Creek in their quest for justice and reclaiming their homeland. On the other side of town, Faraday found himself cornered by a group of men as he was preparing to depart from the bar after a successful gambling session. Angered by their losses, the men threatened Faraday with their firearms, attempting to intimidate him. In a display of remarkable composure, Faraday showcased his talent for card tricks, managing to outwit and eliminate one of the aggressors before subduing the rest, ensuring they would no longer pose a threat. Swiftly making his exit, Faraday contemplated purchasing a horse, though faced with the obstacle of limited funds. Surprisingly, Sam crossed paths with Faraday, Emma, and Teddy, offering to purchase the horse for Faraday and gifting it to him in exchange for assistance in a mission in Rose Creek. Without hesitation, Faraday agreed to Sam's proposal, especially after receiving gold coins as a token of gratitude. En route, Sam instructed Faraday and Teddy to rendezvous with a man named Goodnight Robichaux in a nearby village, a skilled former Confederate soldier known for his exceptional marksmanship and feared by his adversaries. Meanwhile, Sam and Emma set off towards the forest to enlist another ally, a proficient fighter known to Sam. Upon reaching the forest, Sam and Emma headed straight for a cabin nestled in its depths, only to discover that Sam's acquaintance had met his demise at the hands of a criminal named Vasquez. Despite Vasquez being responsible for the death of Sam's associates, Sam harbored no animosity towards him. Then, Sam proposes to join their group on a mission to oust Bogue from Rose Creek, anticipating a handsome reward in gold coins upon successful completion of the task.
Vasquez promptly agrees to Sam's proposition.
Meanwhile, Faraday and Teddy reach the village they had been aiming for, where they witness Billy's remarkable dagger-throwing prowess. Upon hearing Sam's name, Goodnight readily volunteers to aid them in their mission in Rose Creek, and he also extends the invitation to his companion Billy. After departing from the village, they continue their journey until they eventually reunite with Sam, who had recruited Vasquez. They had to undertake a 4-day journey on horseback to reach Rose Creek. While taking respite in an abandoned hut, Sam and his comrades are approached by 2 individuals offering rifles, claiming that these were the weapons once wielded by Jack Horn, the renowned assassin. However, one of the men is suddenly shot from a distant location. Shortly thereafter, Jack Horn himself appears on the scene, visibly incensed that his rifle had been stolen. Witnessing Jack's exceptional marksmanship, Sam is intrigued and decides to recruit him, to which Jack agrees without any hesitations or prior commitments. That evening, Sam and his friends decided to camp at the bottom of the hill near where the Comanche tribes lived. Sam and Goodnight appear to be familiar with each other, as Sam openly shared his backstory with Goodnight the following day as they prepared to resume their journey. While preparing to move forward, Sam and his companions were taken aback by the sudden arrival of a young Comanche warrior named Red Harvest, who expressed his desire to join them. After a lengthy trek, they eventually reached Rose Creek. Prior to entering the town, Sam instructed his comrades to disperse and take up strategic positions to confront Bogue's men guarding the city. Upon entering Rose Creek, Sam was met by Sheriff Harp and Bogue's right-hand man, McCann, who ordered Sam to disarm. Despite McCann's warning about having 22 armed men ready to enforce their authority in Rose Creek, Sam remained unfazed. Once ensuring that Faraday and the others were in position and prepared to engage, Sam deliberately provoked McCann, leading to a confrontation. Just as McCann and his men prepared to attack, Sam and his companions showcased their exceptional marksmanship, swiftly and accurately taking down McCann's men. The display of skill by Sam and his allies overwhelmed McCann's forces, resulting in their eventual defeat one by one. While exhibiting impressive marksmanship skills, Goodnight appeared visibly uneasy and hesitant, refraining from firing a single shot even when face-to-face with the enemy directly in front of him. He struggled to pull the trigger, requiring assistance from Faraday and Billy in aiming at his target. Goodnight was revealed to be grappling with post-traumatic stress disorder stemming from his experiences as a Confederate soldier during the war, recognizing that his unresolved trauma could jeopardize the success of their mission. Acknowledging the need to confront his inner demons to move forward, Goodnight sought to overcome his past after eliminating all of McCann's men. Following this victory, Sam directed Sheriff Harp to convey to Bogue that he and his companions were committed to rescuing the oppressed residents of Rose Creek from his tyranny. In contrast, Emma rallied the townspeople to gather and warmly greeted their rescuers, now known as the Magnificent Seven. Despite the undeniable prowess of the Magnificent Seven, the residents of Rose Creek harbored doubts about their ability to triumph over Bogue and his ruthless cohort. Sam's subsequent address to the townspeople presented them with a choice: to stay and defend their home with utmost determination, or to depart for their own safety. While some opted to leave to avoid the impending conflict's risks, most, including Emma and Teddy, opted to remain in Rose Creek and fight for their freedom and possessions. Knowing they had only a week before Bogue and his gang reached the town, Sam and his friends came up with a strategy. They trained the locals in using weapons for the upcoming battle, with Billy teaching knife fighting and Faraday and Sam providing shooting lessons. The Magnificent Seven then launched an assault on Bogue's gold mine, eliminating his guards and freeing the slaves. They discovered explosives in the mine, which Sam intended to use in their fight against Bogue. Meanwhile, in Sacramento, Sheriff Harp finally reached Bogue's mansion and delivered a message from Sam. Upon hearing this, Bogue flew into a rage and killed Sheriff Harp. He then tasked his enforcers, Denali and McCann, to gather more men and arm them to defeat the Magnificent Seven and reclaim Rose Creek. The following day, Sam instructed Billy to keep watch from the church tower while the others helped townspeople set up traps as the first line of defense against Bogue's imminent attack. The night before Bogue's arrival, Goodnight, plagued by his haunting war memories and a fear of death if he killed again, decided to leave the town. Emma volunteered to take his place alongside the Magnificent Seven. Sam then inquires Faraday and the rest if they wish to proceed with the mission or follow Goodnight's example. Sam offers them a choice, as he does not want to impose his will on others and believes everyone has the right to choose their own path. Surprisingly, Faraday and the others opt to continue the mission with Sam to rescue the residents of Rose Creek. The following morning, Sam, his comrades, and the townspeople of Rose Creek brace themselves to confront Bogue and his estimated 200 men. Bogue's army launches an attack on Rose Creek, with many falling victim to traps, bombs, and ambushes set up by Sam and his allies. A fierce battle ensues, where the Magnificent Seven demonstrate their unique skills and successfully defeat Bogue's men with the assistance of the townspeople. The battle strategy devised by Sam and his companions proves effective, resulting in the defeat of most of Bogue's men and minimizing civilian casualties. As the intense battle rages on, Faraday, preparing to execute his next move, is suddenly ambushed and shot in the stomach by Bogue's men. Before they can finish him off, Vasquez intervenes, eliminating the attackers. Goodnight reemerges, aiding the Magnificent Seven in vanquishing the remaining rogue assailants. He warns Sam and the others that Bogue still has mercenaries armed with a Gatling gun, poised to eliminate them all. Shortly after, Bogue and his remaining group begin firing the Gatling gun from a hill overlooking the town, resulting in the deaths of many townspeople and even their own hired guns. Realizing they were outmatched, the Magnificent Seven evacuate the survivors to the ruined church on Mount to make a final stand against the attack. Jack attempts to shield the wounded Teddy from the Gatling gun fire and, after ensuring Teddy's safety, he is ambushed and ultimately killed by Denali. Denali then enters a building where Emma and a resident are hiding, but Red Harvest arrives just in time to eliminate Denali. Meanwhile, Faraday, who plans to take out the Gatling gun, asks Sam to cover him as he heads towards its location. On the other hand, Goodnight and Billy decide to assist Faraday and Sam by diverting Bogue and his men's attention with their own gunfire until both meet their demise. Faraday eventually reaches the Gatling gun site, ready to sacrifice himself to destroy it and take down Bogue's men, with only 2 of his companions left. Bogue heads towards the city and commands his men to search every building in Rose Creek. Sam intercepts them, swiftly eliminating the last 2 mercenaries before disarming Bogue by shooting the gun out of his hand. A wounded Bogue retreats into the church, where Sam discloses that his family was killed in 1867 by ex-Confederate soldiers hired by Bogue to force homesteaders out of Kansas. After urging Bogue to repent, Sam moves to apprehend him, prompting Bogue to reach for a concealed small-caliber revolver, only for Emma to shoot him dead. As the townspeople return to Rose Creek, they express their gratitude to Sam, Vasquez, and Red Harvest for their bravery. Later, Faraday, Robichaud, Billy, and Horn are laid to rest near the town and remembered as heroes. Emma fondly reflects on the noble sacrifice that defined them as the Magnificent Seven. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Take care.